What's going on, Clippers fans? Welcome to Clippers Nuggets Game 6 preview, coming on the heels of what was not a very fun live stream last time. Carl Tart and I lamenting the loss that the Clippers committed. Is committed the right word? I don't know. The Clippers played terribly yesterday. We really hope they don't play terribly tomorrow because the season is now on the line. For a multitude of reasons, we're going to get into all that in just a bit. But welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, I am Chuck Mockler. Adam Oslin's probably going to be late, as is Will Updike. But we have a schedule to keep nonetheless. Welcome to Clips and Dip. If you want to listen to our old episodes where we talked about how things might go well or go wrong, check them out. Subscribe, youtube.com/@ClippersPodcast. We're going to put this out is audio later tonight as well. Max Skywalker saying, let's go. That's the attitude we need. That was a difficult day yesterday for Clippers fans. Well, more of a night, I guess. Pitiful effort. Just not what any of us wanted. And I don't think the post-game stuff helped at all. It felt like the wheels fell off last night a little bit. All right, there we go. We got the comeback clips are coming back. Let's hope so. They need to. Carlos Aceto saying, it's the next day. I need positivity. Mr. Positive Chuck Mockler. I was down yesterday. I will admit that. But we are here to try and bring a little bit of positivity. There's been a lot of chatter so far today. First of all, no injuries for the game tomorrow. I'm assuming everyone knew that. Max Skywalker saying, what's been going on since last night? Any new insights? Not really. There hasn't been a whole bunch of stuff to come out. There hasn't been any Derek Jones Jr. news, but he's not on the injury report, so he is good to go. Yeah, that's good, I guess. William Updike.
What's up, man?
How are you doing? I don't know if you caught the stream yesterday, but I was running hot. I was very down. People are looking for some more positivity today. How are you doing?
Man, on a completely unrelated note, I don't know what's going on, but there's several helicopters and I can hear police giving instructions for someone to come out right now, like with their hands up.
You?
Shit, man, maybe it is. I kind of blacked out I kind of blacked out last night after that awful loss. So who knows? Who knows what I was capable of? But it was tough. It was tough last night. It was especially tough this morning. I've kind of settled in a little bit more now. I mean, it's not over yet.
No, by any means.
It's not over yet by any means. And I think like what was so disheartening about this one is in the two losses, we saw the Clippers be right there. You know, the talent disparity, the like whatever was what we, was what
Before
we thought it was.
One,
which, yeah. Which it just, coming into this series, we knew it was going to be evenly matched. I thought the Clippers were a little bit better depth-wise, obviously. But watching this watching this one, it was just sort of echoes of what we've seen of this team in the 2-3 era, where it's like, okay, so again, you've like forgotten whatever the identity is of this team, of whatever it is that makes you successful, and you're just kind of rolling over here. So it was a disheartening one, and I'm sure we'll get into it, but James Harden refusing to speak to the media yet again also really, really rubbed me the wrong way. It bugged me.
Yeah, I would love for him to play well enough to speak to the media tomorrow. Mikey Lapp saying Clippers are big favorites tomorrow. The Clippers are like a 7.5-point favorite, which it's that Intuit boost. I'm going to be honest, credit to the wall for that one. I think the wall is affecting some of these betting lines, which is pretty sick. I like Joseph Ward is attempting to join the stream, but there seems to be some internet issues. Renzo the Old Head saying Kawhi shot over 20 shots one time this series. We need him to shoot 30 shots in an elimination game.
So yeah, I was struggling with this too. I was struggling with this because obviously the Clippers ceiling is so tied to, what Kawhi Leonard could do.
Two guys.
And through, through 5 games, is he even a top 3 player in this series? Is he somewhere closer to 5? Like, it's.
I don't know about that. No, I don't know about that. It's just tough. Like, but that's what makes it so frustrating, is because he should be the second best.
If he's not 1 or 2, then that's really tough.
Joseph Ward, hopefully speeding down the highway.
I didn't realize the stream was getting cool as hell.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Joseph here. First time, long time. Joseph on a mobile. Just wanted to call in real quick. How you guys doing?
I'm fine.
A little bit better, but not great.
It's annoying because we were just talking about how Kawhi needs to take more shots, because that is annoying.
I haven't decided if I want the team to blow it up, or that Game 5 was the last gasp of a champion and the Clippers were winning in 7. I'm vacillating between those 2 points.
Okay, wow.
Oh, wow. Tell us more about the latter. Please justify the latter. I want to hear more about this.
I don't think we're blowing anything up.
The latter. I don't know. So I have a lot of
Denver's
gripes.
Best punch, you think?
Yeah, like this was what they had. I mean, Jokic looked really tired. I mean, obviously he put up a triple-double and like dominated the game in a lot of other ways, but it really felt like offensively he was working really hard. And it's a big if Jamal Murray doesn't shoot better than he's ever shot in his whole life, other than I guess when he played against the Jazz in the bubble, and Russell Westbrook actually shoots better than he's ever shot in his whole playoff life, I don't know, man. Like it really feels like the things the Clippers need to do are fixable, and we should have the better team in these games, and like we should be winning. The series should already be over, and it's not, and it's frustrating that it's not. But it really did kind of feel like they went back home, they got this big pop from Jamal. I don't know. Like I feel like the Clippers could get a big pop tomorrow from their stars and then win a dogfight in Denver.
Do you think, question from Dime Dropper, shout out Dime, hope you're doing well. Do you think Murray and Jokic go off together tomorrow? Because everyone's saying like, oh, Jokic didn't even go off, Murray took his place. They are able to go off at the same time, which is what is difficult. But the Clippers, if they are really caring and worth their salt, will at least attempt to make it so they both don't go off.
I don't know, man. I was reading the script that the NBA put out, that sent to the media about how the playoffs are going to go, and I didn't see a double pop, for Jokic and Murray in Game 6 at Intuit Dome.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen at Intuit Dome. I don't think like both of them are going to simultaneously have their best game of the series in Game 6. If
one of them will have a good ass game,
they're not facing elimination though. Like it's just completely different. Like the Clippers now have 0 margins, and I think that we've seen them perform a lot better in those situations. Which it's not great. Like it's not a great position to be in. But I will say they're like it's 2 completely different drives. We're not going to see the same, like people are not going to be lost on defense the same way. Like I like Joseph's point about things being fixable, because I had interpreted that as like this team has lost their way. They've completely separated from this identity that they tried to build all year. But maybe it was just like being tired. Maybe it was just a screw up. And really these things are pretty addressable. I'm going to go ahead and choose to hop on the optimistic bus with Joseph on that point.
I mean, they are fixable, but we're also like, I'm not denying that, but I think the Nuggets want to get the series done. They don't want to play a Game 7 at all. So I think that they're going to be trying, obviously, to close this shit out like the Clippers should have been. And I know that the problems are fixable, but from the jump last night, we saw such a lack of effort from James Harden specifically on defense.
Yeah.
And bodied us. Like,
Yeah.
it was just
The clips, like watching the clips again today was
dude.
brutal.
So
was
like
brutal.
that is fixable if Harden wants to fix it.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah, but okay, so I'm with you on the effort in game 5 was pathetic. Like, there's no other word to describe how the Clippers showed up in game 5. It was fucking pathetic. And they have, not only the team, Ty Lue has performed better when his back is actually against the wall. And I feel like if we're all going to be on the train of they're the better team, they're the deeper team, they should win the series, then we shouldn't be surprised if they win 2 games that they're supposed, like, that they have to win, right? Now the issue is that it's the Clippers. I think that's the big issue for all of us here, right? Is that it's the Clippers, and that means we can't have nice things. So the flip side of this is they do all the right things for game 6. Everybody feels really optimistic going into game 7, and then they all collectively shit the bed in game 7 and look like they don't care. So
don't talk about these things. This was supposed to be a more positive preview.
Well, I'm glad that you bring up Ty Lue and how he can operate with his back against the wall, because I'm curious your thoughts on this. Did he over adjust after that game, like after the game 4 loss? Like, we came out, they were trying to play a completely different type of offense, trying to play way faster than we've normally seen them play, which I would think, just in my head, is going to benefit the better offensive team being Denver. Yeah. Like, was that an over adjustment? Like, what the fuck was going on there?
And then I have another question about another over adjustment that we'll probably.
No, go ahead. Please throw them both at me.
No,
please.
So the Alex Webb comment is there's a lot of people clamoring for the starting lineup change, right? Because now we have to win tomorrow night or an overachieving season ends in a very underwhelming way. And people want Nico to be out there. I don't think Norm gets benched. So it would be done, and you would move everyone over. Where are you at? Do you think we see Nick Batum in the starting lineup for either Norm or Dunn? We'll get into that in a sec.
I'd actually go even farther, and I would start Bogey and Nico over Norm and Dunn.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Two?
And I would play both of those guys 38 minutes in game 6.
Bogey 38 minutes. Man, I think we'd have to do too much defensive. I think in that starting lineup, I think he's got enough cover, and he's played. I mean, his problem is he's fouled too much, but he's playing physical defense. Hold on one second, guys. I got takes, but I also have to pick up my order. So, what did you get? Joseph's going to the drive. Adam was at the drive-thru the other day doing a pod. Joseph's at the drive-thru now. Okay. I'm with this. I don't know if Bogey playing 38 minutes. I don't know about that.
Here's the deal. Norm can't fucking dribble. The problem is Norm dribbling any direction other than straight is a problem, and straight is a 50-50 proposition at this point. So I want someone on the floor, because Kawhi's got to play 44 minutes. He's not going to because they're doing something. But Kawhi's got to play 44 minutes. He just wants to get to the offseason healthy, guys. He just wants to get to the offseason healthy.
He's at 38 minutes per game. Jokic is at 41 for those of you. And 3 minutes, it might not sound like a lot. It's a lot.
In the ways in which games, 1, 2, and 3 were close, and even 4 for that matter, those minutes matter. Like it's a huge discrepancy when you get to this point. But I do just think that, like, right now in this current moment, those are your 5 best guys. I know Dunn has played good defense. The variance of the shooting, I don't want to do it. And I think playing Bogey and Nico together in that starting 5 gets you a little bit bigger.
Joseph R.
Yes, thank you so much.
What do they think? That's
We're good.
California Chicken Cafe, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, okay. I was like, did you go to Crumble? Get off the stream.
No, California Chicken Cafe. But how I feel about it is it's just that's our best, most balanced five. And I know they don't have a lot of reps together. I don't think Ty is actually going to change the starting lineup. He's very much a like I'm going to ride the horses that got me here kind of guy.
And he rides with offense. Adam brought this
but
up
I think
too.
that he could be quicker
He's going to go
with the
out
rotations.
with offense.
I agree. And I don't know, man. Look, people are going to say Russ got in his head and all this. Sorry, there's a BMW with turbo over here. It's very, very cool. If you've got that, man,
airdrop the link.
just rev your engine. It's really cool. Everyone thinks you're super cool. Everybody wants to hear it. It's awesome. You're the coolest guy.
This is one of our more immersive streams. If you're listening and you'd like to watch this content, check out youtube.com/@ClippersPodcast. This is incredible.
You got a haul from me from California Chicken Cafe. This is the quarter chicken dark. Anyway, so I think those are your five best guys, and I'd like to see those guys play a lot of minutes.
I think that's interesting. I think maybe a complete changing 2 out of the starting 5 is maybe more extreme than I'm willing to go. But I do think making those rotations a little bit shorter. I did like bringing Bogdan in a little bit earlier. And another thing that sucks about that loss is Chris Dunn's shooting was good enough last night that he could actually stay on the floor to defend, which was such a bummer that the effort just wasn't there otherwise, because that we haven't had that luxury so far in this series where he can actually provide enough offense to stay on the floor to play this great defense that he's played all season.
Right.
All right, we got to bring Adam in. J Bose wants to know if Joseph is driving a bus. No. Adam Osland.
I used to drive buses. Fun fact about me.
We're learning a lot in this stream.
We could use a few more bus drivers on the Clippers right now. I'll tell you that.
We're
Too many passengers.
We're talking starting lineup change. I wanted to bring up some stats you tweeted out earlier. You said the lineup data of Nico next to Harden, Dunn, Kawhi, and Zoo in the series is only 2 minutes. Clippers are +6. Nico with Harden, Powell, Kawhi, Zoo. Clippers are +4 in those 6 minutes. Do you think we see the lineup change? Adam wants to change Joseph wants to change 2 spots in the starting lineup, and he has some support in the chat.
DJ and Batum?
No, Bogey and Batum. Killer bees on the swarm.
Bogey was good last game, but I don't know. My thing is, one of Norm or Bogey has to have it going. I would just go Batum and take Norm and put him on the bench and lean into defense because they have to start faster, and their defense has been lacking to start ball games. I don't know what it is.
Over the first 5 minutes of the first 5 games of this series, the Nuggets have outscored the Clippers 76-53.
Is that bad?
Justin Rousseau. That is bad. Joseph is quite literally in the driver's seat right now, Scott. Do we think that happens, Adam? Is this the game where, it's do or die, right? This is the game where you throw shit at the wall, right?
I think there's a good chance it happens. He was asked post-game about changes and said something to the effect of, I don't know what changes we need to make. I don't know if he would actually say that he was going to start Batum after the end of Game 5.
I don't think he's saying that a day before for Adam.
He brought Batum in first off the bench, and I thought he would. And to me, that just says he's getting a little bit closer to starting.
If he starts, though, do you think at halftime he asks if Marcus Morris can start the second half because he doesn't like being a starter? Or is that a deep cut? Is that too deep of a cut?
No.
Is that do we remember
that we don't need right now? Joseph.
That still pisses me off. I'm still mad about it. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm still mad about that.
I don't know. Adam, where are you at? Do you feel better or worse than yesterday? Because we've kind of gotten everybody's feelings out. Are you feeling better or worse?
I feel better. I feel like they're going to win Game 6. I do.
Oh, yeah.
The way they lost that game yesterday, to me, yesterday isn't the game you were going to have a good chance to win it. It's Game 1 I'm thinking about. It's Game 4 I'm thinking about that they let get away. Yesterday's game's like, okay, Jamal Murray shoots like that. They all shoot like that outside the paint. You're probably losing that game. It's the other two missed opportunities, I feel like, those are the things that are going to eat at me if they lose this series.
Yeah, that's a good call, is that last night won't be as difficult as the horrors of the final, quite literal last seconds of Game 4. Yeah, how do we feel about Harden on Jokic? That was an adjustment. That was a new wrinkle. It seemed like, to me, it tired him out for the offensive side of the ball.
How many of those were intentional, and how many of those were just soft switching? I'd have to watch the game again. I don't think I can do that.
Do you have to
do
put him
not.
on? Do you have to put him on Jokic because he's so worthless off the ball as a defender?
Maybe.
Jokic is gonna have the ball in his hands. You might as well put him there because otherwise he's completely gone.
Yeah.
He was very lackadaisical with some of those baseline cuts that happened against James Harden yesterday. That was disappointing.
Yeah, I hope
It was bad.
I hope he can actually give some post-game media. So this is a thought from Kmest Mio. Harden on Joker opened infinite space for Murray. But
You called him Joker?
I called him Joker. Put a little sauce.
That's what we call him in the streets. Okay, in these Clipper streets, we call him the Joker.
Joseph
Soft
Joseph kind of does look like an undercover cop right now. Because
I tried to talk to Joseph about the game last night, and he wouldn't even talk to me.
I did tell everyone it was okay. Look, in my defense, I was miserable. But also,
what are you now?
It was my last, just generally unhappy. I have clinical depression, guys. So it was my last ditch effort at like a reverse jinx. I told everybody that I like wasn't going to speak about them and it was all going to be bad. And then they went on a run. And then, I started thinking like, oh shit, it's going to work. And then it didn't work. So
I literally tried to coax him into it by just texting him hell.
Yeah.
I thought that would bring out the best version of Joseph Bryant Ward I was looking for.
No, man. No.
We got a pretty good version of Carl Tart last night who was saying very mean and kind of unhinged things about Nikola Jokic.
Yes.
It was a good time. Yeah. And I'm me, I'm a host. I'll let you say whatever you want on this podcast for the most part when it comes to basketball. You can do whatever you want. Looking at some lineup data, Harden, Kawhi, Norm, Chris Dunn, and Zoo minus 17 this series so far.
Yeah, Denver's like a plus 11 with their starters per 100 possessions. The Clippers are about a minus 11 with their starters in this series. So there is reason to believe, well, you've gotten 5 games of this. The starting lineup hasn't been working. They're losing to Denver's. I got to think, if I had to lean one way, he's making the move.
Ty needs 5 more games of data, guys. Just 5 more games of this, and he'll be able to make a change.
Will, how are you going to feel when Nick Batum is announced as possibly the starter?
As possibly?
They're going to say
they're going to soft launch it?
Yeah, they're going to say possible starters.
when they send out the starters thing tomorrow, it'll say starters, maybe Nick Batum?
Yeah, maybe. It'll be a photo of 4 guys and then Nick Batum holding a coffee in the corner. Like, are you soft launching this?
Ty absolutely is hitting reporters with, hey, what's the starting lineup? I forgot.
100%.
Yeah. I'm gonna feel great about it, and I think it can work both ways. Like Norm has had an up and down series, not very good, but like maybe maybe going back to the bench is a move in a positive direction for him. I don't know how those minutes kind of work out with Bogey and him, and how they work around that. But yeah, I think I like the Nick Batum adjustment. Do we have a status update on DJJ? I've not seen anything.
Clean injury.
Wasn't on the injury report.
They weren't holding him out. There's no way he wasn't going to play. Then we have 7 guys.
He gets banged up every game in return. So it just so happens this time it was so late in the game he didn't get a chance to come back. But
yeah, that's
he's
a good call. I like that call.
Nice to have young guys, you know, and kind of get back up.
I'd like to say, as much as we're talking about the starting lineup and everybody is talking themselves into this is going to fix things, it's really not unless Kawhi and James Harden show up and play much better.
Correct.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Could not agree more.
Or if the team just decides to give a shit. It'd be nice if they did that too.
Joseph is a coach.
I'm
has
sorry.
a clipboard that says, "Give a shit, yes or no." This is what we're going over today, guys.
How many fucks do you have to give? But no, I mean, I'm sorry, guys. They have acted as though they're like entitled to this series win because they're the better team, and it's really fucking annoying. It's really annoying. I'm sorry. I know it was funny because we blew them out in Game 3. But Ty Lue walking the streets of Beverly Hills telling strangers we're good is infuriating with the level of effort that they gave.
He wasn't.
He still said we're good. He still let the picture happen. Yeah, post that shit. It's fine. Everyone can know that you saw me 5 hours before tip, just shopping. You know what I mean? Like we look bad as a unit right now, and I'm upset about it.
Coaches be shopping, man. I don't know if I agree with the first part of that, but I do agree with as a unit, the Clippers look a little bad. Because the Kawhi Harden thing is incredibly frustrating. This is the healthy postseason, right?
Right.
Adam, you and I didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday, but like this is the healthy postseason, right? Like this is what we've all been wanting. I totally agree that it's not going anywhere if the 2 guys who we've needed to be healthy the whole time for this run aren't going to be aggressive.
Yeah.
No, that was a good point. I heard you mention that last night. I kind of wanted to, let's just see how things work out. And then if I have to be that negative and be like, this was the healthy postseason where we were supposed to make the run, I would get there eventually. You beat me to it, Chuck, but you're not wrong. This is extremely frustrating right now because I do think they're the better team. They are also going up against a team with championship level intangibles right now. And if you make any mistakes and if you leave the door open a crack, they're going to kick it in and beat you. And that's what's been happening.
The Clippers left the door open at one point because the ones that they went away, like that they didn't chase, I guess, or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the ones that they just let go. And I'm counting Game 4 in that too. A lot of people are talking about the reffing, but I mean, I agree.
It's been lopsided.
But it's also like Will, you were saying yesterday. Forget about that shit if you're on the Clippers.
Yeah.
Don't look.
Yeah, I mean, like again, and I feel like we've talked about this before with this team too. Like, you're not going to get the call. Like, just like get to the rim. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it sucks. It sucks that the game is officiated one way for 82 games and then like officiated differently for the following however many you last. But that's just the nature. That's just the nature of it. So, you know, you can't merchant. Just get to the rim.
It would be a better argument to complain about the refs if they didn't miss 10 free throws yesterday while taking more free throws than Denver.
It's a very good call.
They missed 10.
Joseph, do you have to get out of here? Yeah, I don't want that chicken to be cold.
I do. I know. I got to get it upstairs. But bye, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning in. Good to see
Hope
you.
you watch the game tomorrow.
Just give a shit. That's all they got. If they're watching, if you're watching, give a shit. That's all you have to do. Yeah. Yes. I know they all sit streams. I know they do it.
5:30, dude. I saw the YouTube.
We got to wrap this practice up. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for
All right,
stopping
later,
by,
guys.
bud. See ya.
Bye, Joseph.
Yeah, the ref thing. I mean, the ref thing's annoying, but there's other issues. We're not losing every single game on a last-second bad call. We're losing.
I don't think they've lost any game because of that yet.
No, we're losing it in the first quarter because we're losing the first 5 minutes every single time we play.
Is it
I don't know,
weird?
the missed call on Harden, game 4, could have turned things.
If they called the foul with him on Aaron Gordon at the putback? Because he did foul Aaron Gordon, by the way, guys. And they just turned a blind eye.
That wasn't what I was seeing.
I actually don't remember those 8 seconds of my life. I've blocked those 8 seconds out. What were you going to say, Adam?
Why have they reverted back to the bad habit now of getting off to slow starts, do you think?
Why did they try to play so fast yesterday? I'm still like, when Charles and I were watching that game, I was losing my mind. Like, well, why such a stark change in the style of play? I don't know. In a tied series is the thing. Like, it wasn't even, they weren't at a deficit then. So, like, why make the hyper over adjustment to play a completely different style of offense?
Because Street Fighter 2 Turbo just hits harder, man. I'm guessing
Denver's
because
the better
they were
offense.
trying.
Doesn't you playing faster give them more possessions inherently?
I think they were trying to beat them with execution before they could double and blitz as much and get to their stuff faster. My guess is that. I didn't see what the pace ended up being compared to the rest of the games, but
they did end up
it
slowing
definitely.
it down.
It felt clunky. I didn't like the shot selection early on. And Denver was really hot, and they were beating them. Honestly, if their defense just showed up better to start that game, even with that level of offense, I would have felt better about it. Just don't get beat on easy backdoor cuts to start every game like we've been seeing.
It's the easy buckets that you can't give to a team that is unhealthier than you are, not as deep as you are. And some of it obviously was last night specifically, Russell Westbrook having an absurd shooting night.
That second quarter, guys, is ridiculous. The Clippers went 14 of 19 and only went +4 in the second quarter.
It was
They
crazy.
went 5 of 7 from 3. That's Russ and Jamal Murray. That was brutal.
Real quick, taking a quick audio break just because we're going to put some ads in here. We put this up on the podcast later. If you want to watch this because you're only listening to this on audio and you missed it, check us out at youtube.com/@ClippersPodcast. And now we're back. Yeah, the defensive thing is annoying. And maybe putting Batum in the starting lineup tomorrow night lights a fire under their ass.
What do you think happens to Norm with that? Is he going to be all right?
I think it could be good for him. I think, he understands the grind. I feel like this could be another motivation. Although you don't really want him reaching with the way that he's been playing so far this series. So I could see it going either way, but the guy's a pro, and I think he would get it in it's an elimination game. And like truly anything that you think could give you a minor advantage, I feel fairly confident. And I feel fairly confident that this team would be on board from what we've heard throughout this season.
Well, the thing is, when we talked about earlier, the starting lineup net rating, the offensive net rating isn't great, but the defensive net rating with the starters, it's like 122.
Right.
So that's what's really killing them. It is about the defensive deficiencies right now. So can you sell them on that? Please. It is a must-win game, like you said. You can't even worry about feelings at this point. You find a way to win one game. Do whatever it takes.
Do you think it's the double change? I think it's just one change. Changing to you guys feels crazy.
Bogey's had he had a good game in game 5, but I don't know if that's enough to put him into the starting lineup after one game.
I mean,
but look, Batum's 1 for his last 8 from 3. but we're all asking for the same thing. We all want them in there. We just want to go with the guys that give you the best chance. If you're going to ride and die with guys, I want Batum out there.
He's a tone setter. So is Chris Dunn. Him and Chris Dunn together, that is an incredibly difficult. If Kawhi, because then we can maybe, if Harden has another defensive performance like he had last night, which was atrocious, having Batum out there mitigates some of that instead of Norm, right? There's just less, there's just better defenders around James Harden, so he can do things like take more than 2 threes.
I need Batum because Aaron Gordon has specifically been killing this team in this series. Aaron Gordon has been like the third best player in this series. Maybe second. I don't know. He's been so good.
I was going to say, when we started this stream, I was like, is Kawhi, like, is he the third best? Has he been so far, like, maybe the third best player in this series?
I mean, it's hard because there's more responsibility on him.
Oh, yeah.
It's 3-2. They are down. Aaron Gordon's team is up. I think you can
Aaron
make
Gordon
the
has
argument.
a game winner. Kawhi does not.
That's what we're going by.
Well, I mean, we
game
could
2 jumper over Aaron Gordon. Yeah.
So, I mean, we need, because tomorrow, Dime was in here asking if we think that Murray and Jokic will go off tomorrow, both of them together. I think the likelihood of that is low. One of them will go off. I don't think Jokic is going to shoot 3 for 11 again or whatever it was. So I'm assuming he's going to have, because this isn't an elimination game for them, obviously, but there is no doubt in my mind they're going to be playing to rip our heads off tomorrow, as they should, as the Clippers should have, in a couple of these other games. Like,
especially.
No, go ahead.
So last year in Game 6 in the second round, after taking a 3-2 series lead, they went to Minnesota and lost by 45. So they kept getting questions from the media last night about, is it going to be different this time, Denver, because they went on to lose that series. So they're well aware of being in this position and letting go of the rope for a game and losing the series that way.
They mentioned, yeah. Do you think, should we stop doubling Jokic, as Mike is suggesting?
I don't know about stop. You want him to be a little bit off balance. You could do it less.
Depends on the timing.
The timing is huge. I thought Bogey, weirdly enough, timed a double well yesterday. But if Jamal Murray is also doing what he can do and what he did yesterday, and you're doubling Jokic, you're putting yourself in a tough spot.
Yeah, with this many guys starting to heat up for Denver, Christian Brown the last couple of games has been better. Obviously, Aaron Gordon just had 23. Michael Porter Jr., I think he only had 14, but he had some really critical shots. It feels like everybody else has caught a rhythm now, and you have to be concerned about that and staying home on the others.
Yeah, I mean, Jokic is the only guy who didn't shoot at least 50% last night for the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And of people who took more than 2 shots, because Peyton Watson went 1 for 2, of the people who took more than 2 shots, yeah, Michael Porter Jr. was the worst at 50%, other than Jokic. He took 10.
Damn.
I would like them to feed Visa Zubats more on the other end.
What was with Sue's rebounds yesterday?
If they want to speed up the offense, I think getting to Zoo early and quickly is like their best bet. If they want to like punch early on that end of the floor, I don't know why sometimes it's like 3-4 possessions before Zoo is getting his first touch.
And if Harden's tired, right, doesn't that make his job a little easier?
Yeah, and maybe just if he and Zoo can have that connection, and they've been throwing this zone out there a lot, which does stifle the pick and roll. But if he and Zoo could have a connection, maybe that would make Harden be a little bit more confident out there if he's not for some reason with his offense. just getting back in that pick and roll rhythm with Ivica Zubas could be good. Get back to basics.
What's going on with Zoo's rebounding last night?
That's what I'm saying, man. What the hell was that? That was weird.
I feel like it's a box score thing, and I'd have to watch it again to actually see if he was that bad or if he was on the perimeter so much more, because you mentioned Harden switching and Ivica Zubas being on smaller guys. There was, though, one rebound in the second half, end of the third quarter, where he just tried to tip it, and it went to Russ, and he hit a three-pointer, and he could have grabbed it with both hands. That was just,
Yeah, they're almost like they're playing tight. Like, after the blowout win, which we kind of talked about was like a throwaway game. Any playoff game where you're the underdog in the 4-5 matchup and you win by 30, it's a throwaway game. Like, I don't mean that disrespectfully. They obviously had to kick their ass to win by 30, but you don't learn anything from that game, I don't think. Everyone got hot. We shot 40 whatever % from three. Like, it just feels like they're playing tight. Like,
yeah.
Are they overthinking? I don't know if Harden's overthinking. I guess I shouldn't say that on defense. But it's just, and we've seen this from Harden before in other years. Like, I just want him. We need and like you said earlier, Adam, we need Kawhi and Harden to be the best guys. We can't have anyone else leading the half at scoring other than Harden and Kawhi.
Yeah, you really can't afford to have three players for the Denver Nuggets outscore Harden and Kawhi like we saw yesterday. That's insane. Russ outscoring Harden and Kawhi is nuts.
Do we just got to hope they lock in? Like, the only big adjustments we can really see, I think, as a fan base and as a pod, is changing the starting lineup and leaning into the defense.
Do we worry too about Harden being too far gone? Like, he's been in this situation multiple times. It seems like he gets in his head. He's refusing to talk to the media. He's refusing to acknowledge seemingly that there's a problem. It doesn't give me a lot of hope that he's going to be able to turn it around. Like, if you can't even say, like, clearly something's wrong, I don't know how you can begin to sort of work on it or fix it.
Saying you have to admit you have a problem.
Isn't that step one?
Isn't
that step one?
Talk to the media, I think, is step one. It doesn't feel good. I'm trying not to think about that, would be my counterpoint. Because
it's just not a good sign. Like, I've liked a lot of the messaging and stuff from Harden. He's definitely changed my opinion of him. Like, I was already high on him, but even higher from this season in the way that he helped his team and change role. And he is one of the guys who got us here. But this kind of happens in late series, like, again and again and again. And it's at some point, it's like every time it's going to happen every time.
Just when the series gets really close.
Oh, no.
Now, he has a long track record of this. He also has had amazing games in big moments. It's mixed. It's a mixed bag. I think maybe that's being kind, but I think it's also being accurate to some degree. He's had some really big games in the playoffs. Go look at his playoff career averages during his prime 10 years. He's like getting 28 points per game, and the efficiency is there a lot of the time too. So does he need to see Kawhi be Superman to kind of make him more comfortable and take some of the pressure off? Does Kawhi, your max player, need to go out there and say, I'm the number one option, give me the ball, everybody else fall in line?
Well, actually, he's not a max player.
He didn't get – he's making $50 million.
I know. I'm just being a dick. I just had maybe he does. Like, I would love that, because that would mean
I think he absolutely
is playing well out of the duo, right? Like, if one of them plays well at this point, I'll take that. And by play well, I mean that attack mode that Ty Lue talked about after game one that Kawhi got into. And game
this
two.
Is when they were down 2-0 going back to Dallas in 2021, and they were down 19 in the first quarter, and it looked like everything was over. Kawhi said, I'm the Terminator. Come with me if you want to live, or come with me if you want to win. And he put him on his back, and then everybody else came along and got in rhythm too. But it started with Kawhi.
That's a good call. And a lot of the time in Kawhi's tenure, we've accused the team of kind of being like, well, I guess we'll just get out of Kawhi's way and let him do his thing. If you like that or not, maybe tomorrow is the night for that to happen.
Well, and the thing I feel like we've said throughout his tenure with the Clippers, right, is like he's not known for being a vocal leader. He sets he's a leader by example. Come out and set the fucking example, man. I think you got to go out and set the example.
Do we have a setting for an example for you to possibly set? I certainly hope so. I know the wall's going to be there. The wall is going to be fired up. The Clippers also, Adam, I know you're not a betting person. The Clippers have they're like 8-point favorites tomorrow.
What?
Yeah. It's like 7.5, which feels a little crazy to me. But that many possessions in a playoff game it's an interesting line, I guess. That's all I'm going to say.
I guess people are expecting them to bounce back. They're going to lose 3 in a row. They're not going to lose again at Into a Dome. They're going to extend the series. And maybe they'll actually get some calls.
Yeah, the calls would be nice. I'm thinking about the starting lineup change. And the thing, because the whistle has been annoying, we haven't had an incredibly annoying whistle on Dunn or Batum yet. And I guess that would worry me. If the lineup change happens, and I know you can't coach based on this being a one concern, right? The lineup change happens, Nico gets 2 early fouls, Dunn gets 2 early fouls or something like that. Rotations are wonky as hell at that point. As wonky as they can be with an 8-guy rotation. And we've seen what happens to this Clippers team in this postseason when rotations get wonky, right? Like with that long zoo shift in game 4, was that? When there was just like no stoppages? Like it threw everything off. So I think I'm just nervous in general, man. I'm like, we know what they can do, but it feels like they have to be reminded of it for some reason.
It is somewhat comforting that I fully believe, and this is why it's been so disappointing so far, that if the Clippers play to their potential, if both teams play to their potential, the Clippers have the advantage. It's just Denver has been closer to maxing out their potential than the Clippers have so far in this series.
Yeah, there was one game where the Clippers maximized their potential. And they won by 30.
They showed us how it could be.
Not what it is, but how it could be. All right. I would like to fast forward in time to tip off tomorrow. I would like that game to start right now. Since we are all 3 here, do we have any final thoughts on Game 6 before we pick our players of the game? Is it the Al Davis? Just win, baby?
I need to see them create some turnovers on Denver. I'm talking 16 plus. That's what I need.
That means the defense is there. That means the defense is locked in. Could not agree more. William, your final thoughts before we pick player of the game.
I mean, yeah, we covered it all. Like, let's just get back to the identity of what this team was all year. Like, let's get just the averages that we're used to. Like, I'm not even asking for 15, 20% over. Like, can we just get like the baseline of what we saw of this team for, the end stretch of this series, like this season with Kawhi? Like, can we just get those guys?
I love it. Both great takes. Okay, player of the game. Everyone's on the table because it's a must win, but you have to give a detailed answer if you pick one of the big 4.
It's like Christmas morning. Crazy.
Yeah. Day before game, elimination game. Adam, you go first.
Well then. Everyone at my disposal.
You can say
who am I going to go with? I'm going with Big Zoo. Give me Big Zoo. Give me Big Zoo with 25 and 12 in this game. That's what I need. You know what? I'm sorry. 25 and 14 is what I need.
Couple extra rebounds in there.
Yeah, after what happened last game, he's going to make up for it now.
Okay.
I'm feeling it. Zoo domination. That's what I need to see tomorrow. Don't make it so hard on yourself. Vitsa Zubats has been good. Find him early and often. And if he's rolling, that probably means the pick and roll is working well with James Harden. So I just think Zoo is a good indicator of how things could be going.
Okay, William Updike.
I'm going to go Harden. I'm going to go redemption time. It's time to turn it around. I'm asking for a double-double in this one with 3 or less turnovers.
3 or less turnovers. Damn. We're smoking them if that's the case. But Kawhi might have 7. So I'm picking 2 people because we have so many options. Kawhi Leonard. No. We know that Kawhi has to be good. I was going to say Kawhi, but we know he has to be good. I'm going Nick Batum because I think we're all kind of assuming that he might be starting. If he is starting, if he's not starting, I'm going Nick Batum. Hopefully, I'm on the start Nico train. I want to lean into this defense. He's a great tone setter. He hits a couple of those no-dip threes. Things, it trickles down. I'm going Nico.
I mean, I love that. He was the difference maker in the blowout. The 12 straight Nico Batum minutes, regardless of what happens in this series, was one of my favorite Clippers role player moments ever.
Adam, you looked like you wanted to say something.
No, troubles are over, dude. We're good.
It's easy breezy, man. We win this. We win Game 7. All right, Adam. Will, where can people find this podcast if they'd like to rate our podcast?
Yeah, you can check this out wherever you get your podcasts. If you happen to listen over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go ahead, leave a little rating and review. It helps us out. You can also leave comments over there on Spotify. But the best way to check out this show is over on YouTube.com. That's at Clippers Podcast. This was a stream. You could have caught us live, tuned in on the chat. So yeah, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications, and you'll know when that's going down.
You very much will. And Adam, the most important part of the season right here, give these fans one positive thing before we head into Game 6.
Clippers have only lost 1 game at Intuit Dome in the playoffs ever. I don't see it happening again.
Let's go. That's all we need. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for Joseph Fry Ward for taking us on that journey to him buying chicken. We will talk to y'all no matter what happens after the game tomorrow night. As always,